Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Dr. Tony McNeill here. I hope everybody's doing well. And I want to say happy Monday, happy week to everybody. I am excited to do this live conversation tonight with my friend, Reverend Dr. I call him Reverend Dr. Jeffrey Murdock. He will be joining us shortly to talk about this new amazing Master of Music degree program in sacred music at the University of Arkansas. As you are coming in, if you would just type in the chat, hello, just wave at me and tell me the city and state that you're joining me from. That would be great. I'm sorry we're getting started a little late, but we're here. Hey, Isaac Moshe, good to see you, man. Thank you for joining the broadcast tonight. Isaac is minister of music at the Ebenezer Baptist Church in Austin, Texas. Good to see you. I see y'all coming in. Just type in your name or your name appears. I'm sorry. Just type in your city and state where you're joining us from. Hey, Roz, good to see you. One of my former choir members from Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, Fran, my good friend from Chicago, a phenomenal singer. Thank you so much for being in the room. Thank y'all for coming on to be a part of this. I think Dr. Murdock, I thought I saw him. Maybe not. Dr. Murdock is going to be joining us shortly. He just texted me. Okay, we got Chicago in the house. Hey, Darlene, Reverend Darlene Hutto, my friend from Decatur, Georgia. Thank you so much for joining the broadcast. Thank you, Darlene, for joining and passing along the information. Yes, absolutely. Dexter Henson, another gifted minister of music in North Carolina. Thank you for being on the broadcast. Any of you that are, it says there are like 17 of you that are on. So type in where you're from. Let me know that you're here. It's good to see so many of you. Caleb Oates from DC. Thanks for joining, Caleb. I am thrilled to have Dr. Jeffrey Murdock to take some time out of his busy schedule to talk to us a little bit. We're not going to be on very long. A little bit about this amazing degree offering. Probably the first, I think it is the first of its kind in this country. And I had to take some time out to talk about it. Happy to have Dr. Alicia Lola Jones joining. She's one of the professors that will be teaching in this program. And Dr. Jones is joining us tonight all the way from London, England, from Cambridge. So thank you so much for joining Dr. Jones. Greg Wilson from my hometown of Irwin, North Carolina. Thank you for joining, Greg, a gifted musician. Christian Roseborough, also from North Carolina, but working in Atlanta. I see Pastor Kevin James, Louisville, Kentucky. All right, Kenneth Hammond, good to see you. And Greg Schroeder up there in Chicago. Thank you so much for joining. I am waiting for Doc to join us so we can begin this conversation and talk about this exciting degree program. I hope some of you have seen the flyer and the press releases, the various links that have been shared across social media about the work that Dr. Jeff Murdock is doing in Fayetteville, Arkansas, at the University of Arkansas. It's some exciting work around Black sacred music. It's the kind of work that my heart and my soul have been longing for. I'm so thrilled and so proud of him and for the work that he and his colleagues have done to bring this degree and this center to fruition. So as soon as he gets here, we will begin our conversation. I see that there are 26 of you that have joined this conversation. Please, again, as you come into the room, tell me the city and state where you're joining us from, and I would love to acknowledge your presence. Reverend Kyle Stevenson is in the room. Happy to have you, Kyle, and I want to publicly say congratulations to you, Kyle, on being accepted into your doctoral program at Fordham University. We're excited about what God is doing in your life as well. Yes, Kyle, it is a long overdue course offering, degree offering that we have needed for many, 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 many years. So I'm trying to see where Doc is. Hey, William McCrae, glad to have you on. Greetings, 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 my friend. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Ken Hammond from Lithonia, Georgia. Good to see you, man. Always glad to have you in the room, Kenneth. And good to have you on also, William McCrae. Who else is here? Says about 28 of you. Oh, my cousin Lonnie from Raleigh is here. Let me see where Dr. Murdock is. Letting him know that we are on. And I'm hoping that he will join us very shortly. For those of you that may not know about this degree offering, again, this is what is believed. What I think is the first of its kind. It's a Master of Music degree that is focused solely on Black sacred music. Hear me when I say Black sacred music. There are a lot of degree programs, sacred music programs that are out there that are focused around the European experience of sacred music. But this is the first that centers the sacred music of Black and brown people. We are excited. This is history in the making. Yes, Darlene, Black sacred music. Let's be very clear. And I'm sporting my Black Music Matters sweatshirt tonight in honor of tonight's conversation. So I am going to bring Dr. Murdock in. He's here. Dr. Murdock.
Hello, Dr. McNeill. How are you, sir?
Man, I am doing wonderful. How are you?
So excited. We're on spring break, and so I'm taking the time to get some much needed rest and relaxation and rejuvenation as we prepare for what's ahead. How about you?
I am doing well, man. My spring break was like 2 weeks ago. So I hope that you enjoy yours and you get all of the much needed rest that you deserve. For those of you that don't know this man right here, allow me to take just a couple of seconds to introduce to you Dr. Jeffrey Allen Murdock. Dr. Murdock is an internationally known conductor, clinician, and music educator. He is the 2021 Grammy Music Educator of the Year. Did I say that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. And we are extremely proud of him. He serves as the coordinator of choral and vocal studies, associate professor of music, and director of the Black Music Institute at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. Dr. Murdock is well known and sought after as a clinician, as a lecturer, as a consultant and music educator all over the world. I am thrilled that he has taken on this task of designing this extraordinary program that centers Black sacred music. Dr. Murdock has collaborated with gospel artists such as Donnie McClurkin, Richard Smallwood, Mary, Marvin Winans, Marvin Sapp, and the list goes on and on. He's passionate about social justice and culturally responsive pedagogy in music education. I am thrilled that you are here. I will be remiss if I did not let the folks know that you are married to the Reverend Dr. R. Janae Pitts Murdock.
That's it.
Who is the senior pastor of the Light of the World Church in Indianapolis, Indiana. We are thrilled about all of the success that she has met since her tenure there. And I want to salute Pastor Janae in this moment, and also honor your two sons, Jeffrey, who is 11, and John Patrick, who is 9. So welcome, Dr. Murdock. So what I want you to do is just to give us, before we talk about the degree program, tell us a little bit about the Arkansas Black Music Symposium that you recently hosted.
Absolutely. So the Black Music Symposium began about 10 years ago under the leadership of my predecessor, Dr. Eddie Jones. Dr. Eddie Jones passed away in 2014. And so this year would have been the 10th year of the Black Music Symposium. And so each year it takes on a different iteration. In my first year, I'll rewind. In the year after Dr. Jones passed, the focus of the symposium that year was Florence Price. Many people did not realize that the largest collection of Florence Price's published and unpublished works is housed at the University of Arkansas. Florence Price was an Arkansan, and so there's a lot of research coming out of the University of Arkansas related to Florence Price. And so that year was dedicated to Florence Price. And so then my first year, I kind of resurrected what Dr. Jones had been working on. He'd been working with folks like Dr. Ollie Watts Davis and Dr. Raymond Wise, and all of those folks had been coming to the University of Arkansas to participate in that Black Music Symposium. The year after that, we took it a little bit of a different direction with Stax Music Academy, because when you talk about Black music, there's so much more to Black music than just gospel music and just spirituals and art songs of Black composers, and we wanted to highlight that in my second year. And so we talked about the roots, blues, jazz, R&B, and the like. And so we had a wonderful symposium that year. And so each year it takes on a little bit of a different style, if you will, a different flavor. We've had Sweet Honey in the Rock. And so in the COVID years, we have had to put the kibosh on the Black Music Symposium, and we were very thankful this year to be able to bring it back. And so we brought it back in its original form. We had some amazing scholars. Dr. Alicia Lola Jones, who I see is on the line.
Yes.
Chat here. Dr. Emorgia Roberson, Dr. Rosalind Wright Floyd, phenomenal pianist and researcher of Black music. Dr. Albert R. Lee, who is a professor at Yale University, and Dr. Alexis Davis Hazel, who is on voice faculty at the University of Alabama. Also, organist extraordinaire, Dr. Nathaniel Gums, who is the chapel organist at Yale University. And so we brought all of these scholars together to celebrate the beauty that is Black sacred music. It was really amazing too. We had a full circle moment because Glendower Jones, for those of you who are classical vocalists or you are researchers in Black music, many folks and many octavos, many published and unpublished pieces of music by Black composers. If you want to access those, you have to go through Glendower and Classical Vocal Reprints. Classical Vocal Reprints is housed right in Fayetteville, Arkansas as well. And so many folks don't realize that. And so Glendower was there and was able to enlighten us on how some of these lesser known pieces of Black sacred music have come to be published and so forth and so on. But we had some wonderful lectures, followed by some wonderful evening concerts. And so we're looking forward to making it bigger and better next year. This was done with a generous donation from the Fulbright College of Arts and Sciences, which is the umbrella unit for the School of Music and for the Center for Black Music. So it was really great. It was really great. It was a great experience. All the lectures and concerts are still online for those who'd like to view them.
Awesome. And where might people find those?
They'll be moved to the Center for Black Music website, and I'll make sure that I put that in I'll get that information to you here soon. It's a long email address, so I'll make sure
I got you. Great. Let's dive now into the program. Okay. It's Master of Music in Black Sacred Music. Tell us about the nature of the program, why it was established, and what you hope to accomplish by offering it.
Absolutely. Thank you for that question. There are many, many programs in sacred music in general. And so if I were at a traditional church, a traditional non-Black church, there are many places that I could go where I could learn hymnology, where I could learn the liturgical calendar, where I could learn the anthems, where I could learn all of the tools that are necessary, the performance practice, the methodology for teaching this music, so forth and so on. So you can go to many places, public and private, and get that type of teaching. There has not existed heretofore a space where an African American who maybe has experienced music literacy differently, because we know that in the Black church, you may be an extraordinary musician in a Black church and you've never taken a piano lesson or a bass lesson or an organ lesson. And so, but that does not negate the way in which we experience music and the way in which we engage music literacy, right? And so there has not been heretofore a place for Black musicians in this genre to be able to go and to hone their skills, to learn from experts, to learn about sacred music, but in the context of Blackness, in the context of the Black church, in the context of the historical and social movements that are associated with the Black church. And so all of those things are inextricably linked. And we thought that it is high time for there to be a program where someone who has that experience has the opportunity to put the credential behind the experience. And so the dream for the Master of Music in Black Sacred Music was born. And I'm thankful to have folks at the University of Arkansas who believe in the work that we do, first through the Inspirational Chorale, which is one of the ensembles that I conduct, whose mission is to keep the Black sacred music tradition alive. But through the generosity of the Alice L. Walton Foundation and the support of my faculty at the University of Arkansas, this dream has become a reality. And so this summer, we will host the very first history-making cohort of the very first Master of Music in Black Sacred Music. So we are very excited about what's to come.
My God, just hearing you say that just gives me chills. I am so thrilled for the hard work that you have put in to make this happen. Something of this caliber just does not happen overnight. It has to be reviewed and reviewed again and put before your peers for approval, and boards of trustees and,
absolutely,
and donors and all of this stuff. So this has been a work that has been in process for quite some time.
Yes.
And it's now here.
Yes.
And I am so thrilled and excited for you, for the students at the University of Arkansas, and for the Black church.
Yes.
And what this will mean for people who love and honor and study and research the music and worship of the Black church. This is going to be our mother location. This is going to be our mother campus, if you will.
Yes.
So tell us, Dr. Murdock, about the design of the program. What does it entail? Will someone who wants to pursue this degree program have to quit their job or leave their family to enroll? What is it about?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. One of the beautiful things about this degree, and I designed it very specifically this way, because people can't just take off their jobs for 3 years and go and do a master's degree program. There are some who can, but the likelihood of someone who is in a position, someone who would be the best candidate for this degree, the ideal candidate student for this degree, those folks are working in churches. And so I'm sure my wife would attest that allowing the minister of music or the music director to be gone to do a master's degree, wow, that sounds fantastic.
Right.
We still have church on Sunday morning, right? And we still have things that we need to prepare. And so the degree was designed with those students in mind, with that type of student in mind. So it is a 3-summer model. Just like many public institutions now, have a 3-summer master's degree in music education, for example. We built it using that music education model. And so a student can come to Fayetteville, Arkansas. It's not right now an online program. It is definitely an in-person program because we want the students to get those hands-on experience to work with our artists in residence, which we'll get to in just a moment, I'm sure, who those artists in residence are. But we wanted to have them to have that in-person experience in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Intense. We offer about 12 to 13 hours each semester, with that third semester culminating in some sort of research project that might look like a thesis. It might look like a community project of some sort. There are many different ways that master's degree project can take shape, but it does have an accompanying culminating document. But we have research courses that all of our master's students are required to take. But the beauty of it is that the research classes are taught through the lens of Black sacred music. So, for example, for all of our for all of our masters of music degrees at the University of Arkansas, our MM students are required to take a musicology course, a bibliography course, in which they learn, how to use the library, how to do research, how to do, qualitative and quantitative, all of these things that are related to research at the graduate level. Well, we're so excited that we have our History of Black Sacred Music research course being taught by a scholar in Black sacred music. And as such, this bibliography course will allow students to get the tools that they need to become able researchers in our field while using the lens of Black sacred music as a foundation, if you will. There are many electives. So again, there are many tracks that a student can take. So if I'm a minister of music and I want to learn how to do gospel choral directing, then there is a class for that. If I am a bass player and I want to learn how to hone my skills in terms of playing bass at a high level, then there's a class for that. You can take applied bass in that very specific style with highly qualified musicians and scholars. In addition to that, we do have the traditional courses, your musicology course, but your hymnology course. But hymnology is going to be taught again. You're going to learn about all of the hymn tunes and all of those things, but it's also going to be taught within the framework of what is hymnology in the Black church, right? And what are some of the trends and what are some of the social movements that guided the evolution of hymn singing and those sorts of things in the church. And so again, music and social movement courses, all of the other traditional core, and all of those are available on our website. If students are interested, music.uark.edu, you can see the full course schedule for the MM in Black sacred music.
Absolutely. Wow. That sounds like a very rigorous but applicable lineup of classes. And along with those classes comes faculty.
Yes. Well, you know what, Dr. McNeill, before you go into faculty, can I just say, I appreciate that you said that it is rigorous, because a lot of times when we talk about Black music, when folk outside of the culture of Black sacred music think about Black sacred music, it's always an afterthought. It's always the fun thing. It's always the thing that doesn't have to be researched, right? Just like if I'm going to program the Mozart Requiem, I need to pull out some books. I need to read Mozart's I need to check out his fragments. I need to read about his students and which completions are the most appropriate based on who worked with Mozart, the time period in which he lived. Are we using Germanic Latin? Are we using traditional liturgical? All of these things that go into performance practice study. But when we talk about Black music, when we're talking about spirituals, when we're talking about gospel music, we're talking about those things, some folk don't want to take the time to invest in studying the performance practice in order to make sure that we get it right. And so I'm looking forward to the ways in which this program will act as a catalyst for scholars to help other folk learn how to do the work and to learn about the performance practice and to learn how to give due diligence to our music, because it is worth studying and it is worth doing well.
It is worth studying and it's worth doing well. I love that. Before we go on to talk about the faculty, we have a question from a viewer that says, if I studied in Jamaica, what would be the requirements to study music? I have a degree in music education, and I guess they're asking specifically about this program.
Yeah. So specifically, it's interesting. It's interesting that you are from Jamaica, that you studied in Jamaica. Actually, the University of Arkansas has a partnership with Caribbean islands, and so our partnership is grants in-state tuition to students who are from the Caribbean islands. So I wanted to start by saying that. But one of the other beautiful things about this degree program is, again, for a master's degree in Black sacred music, the folks who would ideally be best suited for this degree, many of those folks aren't going to have undergraduate degrees in music. Yes, we welcome and we love that many of our students in the master's program will have degrees in music. But again, because there hasn't been any program heretofore at the undergraduate level, really, or at the grad level that speaks directly to this kind of music and the way in which Black folks, Black musicians, Black church scholars have engaged in music, an undergraduate degree in music is not required. However, there is a requisite skill set. For example, if you are a musician, if you are a pianist or an organist, we want you to be able to play before you enter this program. If you come to the program and you are not an instrumentalist and you want to pursue the research side of that, we're going to ask for some writing samples because we want to make sure that you are ready for the vigor of the research components of our degree. And so there is space for everyone, and there is space for varied kinds of undergraduate degrees. And so the degree is open no matter where you're from. We welcome international students. In fact, we have international already. And so we welcome students from all over the world because what we want is for the Black Sacred Music Master of Music degree at the University of Arkansas to be a mecca where folks all over the world will come to get this education that heretofore has been non-existent.
Sir, that is beautiful. Most master's degrees in this country require an undergraduate degree. Mm-hmm. But what I hear you say is this is an open degree opportunity, and persons without any undergraduate experience or undergraduate credits or a degree are welcome to apply.
No, sir. Let me answer that. Undergraduate degree in music is not required.
Gotcha. Okay.
Undergraduate degree is required, but undergraduate in music is not required. Thank you for allowing me to make that correction.
Okay, because I was just getting ready to jump up. It was like, wow, this is new. But thank you for the clarification. Yes, absolutely. So an undergraduate degree is required, but it does not necessarily have to be in music.
Correct.
We are on the same page now. Absolutely. Yes. Talk to me about any financial aid. Are there scholarships available? Money is a big deal for people, and it's a reality that we must face. So, can you talk a little bit about the financial aspects of enrolling in this program?
Absolutely. There are a limited number of scholarships available for this program, and there will be a limited number of graduate assistantships available for this program. The University of Arkansas also has a fellowship program called the Benjamin Franklin Lever Fellowship. Benjamin Franklin Lever was the first Black man to receive a graduate degree from the University of Arkansas, and so this fellowship is named in his honor. And so that fellowship pays full tuition. It does not cover room and board, but it does cover full tuition. And so I say that there's a limited number of scholarships, and hopefully over the years, those numbers will increase, the number of scholarships will increase. However, I will also say that the caliber of teaching and learning that a student will get as a part of this program is worth the cost of the degree. These students will study with Kurt Carr. They will study with Dr. Tony McNeill. They will study with Dr. Alicia Lola Jones. They will study with Dr. Allen Murdock. They will study with Dr. Rod Bester. They will get a state-of-the-art world-class education in Black sacred music. And so a lot of students will have have reached out to inquire about financial aid and those sorts of things. And there are limited amounts of financial aid that are available. But I would argue, I would counter and say that the investment into one's self and the return on investment that they would get from this degree program is worth every penny that they will spend to pursue this degree.
Thank you for that, Dr. Murdock. Let's talk about the faculty. You started hinting at folks who are going to be teaching. Who are some of the other folks that you have recruited to help you with this Master of Music degree?
So I've mentioned Dr. Alicia Lola Jones, who is a brilliant scholar, and we will still be reading and talking about the legacy of Dr. Alicia Lola Jones and her research and her writing and her scholarship for centuries to come. And so I'm so excited that she believes in this program so much that she will be teaching in this program. We have Kurt Carr, one of the most prolific songwriters of our time, will be teaching courses in songwriting and arranging gospel music. Dr. Leo Davis, who is, I tell everyone, as a college professor, I learned more about what it takes to do my job as a college music educator by working for Leo Henry Davis at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church.
Then I learned this whole government name.
That I learned in any classroom.
Yes.
So just programming and choral literature, and my keyboard skills got better because he made me get on the pipe organ when I didn't think I could do it. And he would give pipe organ lessons and those sorts of things. But Leo has mastered the art of creating an eclectic Black church worship service. If you were to go to a service at Mississippi Boulevard, you might get Moses Hogan. Mm-hmm. You might get a Ravel organ something during communion. You might get Beethoven's Christ, Hallelujah from Christ on the Mount of Olives. And then you're going to shout, and so you get all of these elements of the Black church at a very high level. And so Leo Davis will be teaching courses in terms of worship planning and worship structure and those sorts of things, liturgy and worship. And so looking forward to that. Dr. Herbert V.R.P. Jones.
Yes.
Who actually is an alum of the University of Arkansas. One of his master's degrees is from the University of Arkansas, and he was the director of the inspirational chorale that I now conduct, which I had no idea until working through these projects that Herb Jones had a legacy at the University of Arkansas. But he will be here. He brings so much to the table. Obviously, Dr. McNeill, you bring so much to the table as well. Dr. Rod Vester, who will be teaching courses in piano and gospel improv. There's none better to do that. And so we are so excited about all of the skills, the breadth and depth of skills that we are bringing together, and the wealth of knowledge that we will be giving to these students. Again, I think it's worth the price of admission. So I'm a little biased, but I definitely think it is worth the price of admission.
I know that folks have been submitting applications and the word is getting out, but the deadline is fastly approaching.
It is.
Can you talk to us about the application process and how folks can maximize their opportunity of being admitted into this program? Things that they need to do.
So the application is available uark.edu to be considered for the Master of Music in Black Sacred Music. A student must first be accepted to the graduate school at the University of Arkansas. So that's a separate application. You apply to the graduate school. And then after applying to the graduate school, you would then apply to the Department of Music for the MM in Black Sacred Music. And all of this is listed on our webpage, music.uark.edu. ARK.edu. And so the application discusses several tracks, several opportunities that students can pursue in under the umbrella of this degree program. And so once admitted into the program, the student will meet with me and we will identify what that path forward looks like. Is this a performance path? Is this a music ministry path? Is this a research path? And then we will put together a course of study that most closely aligns with that student's passion. On the application, it requires a consultation with the director of the program. That would be me. If students have questions about the degree in detail, just some specific questions about what they want to do and if this program is right for them, a student can email me. I've been fielding questions for a couple months now. My email address is my first name, last initial, Jeffrey M, JEFFREYM @uark.edu. And I'm happy to field any questions that students may have. Again, as much time as I have and as many questions as students have, I'm willing to take that time. I spent an hour on the phone just last week with someone, just kind of walking them through the degree program. And so it's a new degree program too. And so we are excited about the newness, but with anything that is new, we are building some parts of it are still going to be in the building phase.
Absolutely.
We invite this very first historic cohort to join us. We have many applications. I will tell you that for the first cohort, we are looking to it's history making, and it probably won't be a large cohort.
Okay.
We want to make sure that that we are giving all that we can to our students and that the students get everything that they need. And so before we start having cohorts of 25 and 30, we want to make sure that we can adequately give to our students what they need to be successful in this field.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. I want to pause now to allow people to ask you any questions before we sign off. I'm scanning the chat just to make sure that I've addressed all of them. And thank you, Pastor Janae, for including the website and the email address for Dr. Murdock. So those of you that have questions and would like to learn more about the program, the website is shown here, music.uark.edu. And Dr. Murdock's email address is also shown here. While we're fielding for questions, Dr. Murdock, can you talk just a little bit about the Center for Black Music and what that is and how it relates to the program?
Yes. So we also founded, I'm the founding director of the Arkansas Center for Black Music. And it is the umbrella that will house our Black Music Symposium, which we just hosted. It will it covers the Master of Music and Black Sacred Music. I did not mention that for those folks who are interested in the performance track of the Black Sacred Music degree, but are not interested in getting a master's degree, there is a graduate certificate in Black Sacred Music.
Okay.
It removes the research components and it's a performance-based certificate. So that is also housed. Our jazz and our jazz endeavors will be moving into that under the umbrella of the the Center for Black Music as well. And so again, jazz, Dr. Jake Herzog, who is my associate director, is the director of jazz studies. And so when we talk about American music, you cannot talk about American music at all without talking about the contributions of Black Americans.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about jazz, if you're talking about blues, if you're talking about R&B, if you're talking about country music, you cannot talk about any of those things without talking about the contribution of Black musicians and Black Americans. And so the Arkansas Center for Black Music is going to bring that knowledge to the masses. So in addition to those specific programs, the University of Arkansas Press will be partnering with us so that we can disseminate the research of Black scholars throughout the United States and the world. Our record label, our house record label, Hill Records, will be producing the music of Black Black Americans. For example, our Schola Cantorum at the University of Arkansas, conducted by my colleague, will be releasing a music full CD of Florence Price's music in the next few weeks, and that'll be on our label Hill Records as well. And so we again want to be the Mecca for all things Black music, and so we are fortunate to be able to have the infrastructure at the University of Arkansas to do that, and much of that will be done through the Black Music Center at the University of Arkansas.
Amazing. Dr. Alicia Lola Jones has a question. Will students learn to research?
Yes, students will learn to research. And in fact, Dr. Alicia Lola Jones will be helping students in their quest to become scholar researchers. So yes, there are. I should say this, that our degree is accredited through the National Association of Schools of Music, which is very important. And with NASM accreditation comes certain requirements. And one of those is a research requirement that is required at any Research One institution, as the University of Arkansas is. So yes, students will learn to research.
Wonderful. Caleb Oates has a question that says, when exactly will the summer sessions occur?
The summer sessions, this summer's session will begin with reading lists and those sorts of things. Those will begin in June. And the in-person sessions will begin at the beginning of July and end in the end of the first week of August. So the in-person session is July 1st to August 4th.
Wonderful. Okay. And another question from Philip Hall. Do you foresee a doctoral degree in the future, either here or around the country?
I foresee a doctorate degree in Black sacred music. Now, I don't know that it'll be at the University of Arkansas, but there's an undergraduate degree in gospel music at Nyack College in New York. I believe it's the only one of its kind. And I'm hoping, I can tell you that my first priority is building an undergraduate program someplace that will help to feed this degree program. And so that's my first priority. And Dr. McNeill, you and Dr. Jones and I have actually had this conversation before where we want to see undergraduate programs and master's degree programs and doctoral programs in different places that can help to sustain each other. And so right now, there's not a DMA, not in Black sacred music it's not on my list of things to do right now, because I want to make sure that this master's degree is the best that it can be. And in addition to that, I'm launching a DMA in choral conducting at the university. So I'm doing quite a bit here, but I'm hoping that this degree program will create a pipeline for musicians and scholars, and that it will create, based on the need, based on the deficit for a program like that someone somewhere will take up the mantle and create a program like that.
Yeah, it is so needed. We need that pipeline from even, as you alluded, the certificate program to an associate's to an undergrad, and you being the master's and a doctoral program. There should not be an excuse at this day and age where we don't have that complete pipeline through the course of study of Black sacred music. So thank you so much, Dr. Jeffrey, for establishing the paradigm, again, for doing all of this tremendous work to get this program here in front of us. And I'm excited that it is here. And I want those of you that are watching this video to please share this video with others that you think may benefit from knowing about the program. And even if they can't apply this year, maybe next year, people can start thinking about next summer. It's my assumption that you'll have ongoing applications that can people can apply every summer.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
And you know, I would be remiss again if I did not honor my colleagues at the University of Arkansas, my department chair, deans, who believed in this, and to have the Alice L. Walton Foundation to believe so much in this organization. Many people don't realize, but Walmart is headquartered in Northwest Arkansas. And so Alice Walton, who is the heiress of the Walton family and the richest woman in the world, saw this program and took it on as one of her own pet projects. And so to have the Alice Walton Foundation to believe so much in what we're doing means quite a bit. And so I want to thank Alice Walton, the Walton family, and Fulbright College of Arts and Sciences and the University of Arkansas, without whom none of this would be possible.
Absolutely. Got to thank the donors. Got to thank the donors. Well, folks, you have heard it here straight from the man, the curator himself. Thank you again, Dr. Murdock, for pausing out of your busy day with your sons and your lovely wife and all that you're doing at the university to talk with me about this program. I'm so excited and thrilled that we have had this time tonight. And I hope that this video will grow legs and be shared between now and the 31st of March, which is only a few days away. That is the deadline for the application. So I'll go back and post the links. Well, they're already in there. From Pastor Janae has posted the links, and I ask those of you who are watching the playback to scroll the thread so that you can find all of the applicable links to learn more about this incredible program. Thank you so much, Dr. Murdock, and thank you everyone who has joined this broadcast. We're now going to go over to Instagram and have a very similar conversation for that platform as well. And you all are welcome to join us over there at Dr. Tony Mack. That's where we will be talking in just a few moments. Thank you so much, everybody. And I hope you all have a great evening. You have any closing remarks, Dr. Murdock, before we sign off?
No, I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to speak to the saints about the amazing things that are happening at the University of Arkansas. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, and good night.